Let's talk about how to deal with player progression, red shirts, and different development traits in college football 25. So for this video, we went with Colorado. We went with their current head coach. And, the team don't really matter for this. I went with Colorado because I did a recent rebuild with them. And something interesting happened in the rebuild. First of all, if y'all want to check it out, I did a Colorado rebuild with athletes only. Pretty cool video. Check it out. It's the latest video on my channel. But some interesting things happened, man. Like, for example, Nate Robinson's son, this guy right here, he plays cornerback for the Colorado Buffs. In that rebuild, he turned into an 89 overall and a player that got drafted. And you see he's only a 64 overall right now. He's already a redshirt freshman, and he's a two-star prospect with normal development. So anything can happen in this game when it comes to development, man. I've seen a lot of videos where, people were saying, hey, with people with normal development, they're never going to be nothing. That's not true. That is not true at all, man. This game is very, I would say, random when it comes to development. I've seen elite prospects that never turn out to be anything, that never get past like an 85 overall, stay in like that 82, 83 range. And then I've seen players like this with normal development turn all the way into 89 overall players that get drafted. So let's go through, let's sim 4 years, and let's kind of go through development and kind of win the red shirt, win not the red shirt, and just see how things progress. Also, let's go over the developments in this game. So first you got normal, then you have impact, you have star, then you have elite. So it's kind of different from Madden, where Madden, it goes from slow, normal, then star, superstar, X Factor. That X Factor in this game is kind of the elite, and kind of in that breakdown as well. I'm glad there's no slow development in this game, because that was just annoying in Madden, getting a slow development player. So glad that's not in this game. But when you do get the elite prospect, it's just, he has the potential to be a great player. Has the potential. Don't always happen. Have the potential. And, sometimes you'll get a elite, 4-star. Sometimes you get elite 5-star. Me personally, I haven't seen an elite 3-star. You'll have, a few of these stars as far as 3-stars, like Shador right here. And, you'll get a few of them. But, yeah, the elite 3-stars just don't seem to happen too often. But if y'all seen it, let me know. First, let's just go over when the red shirt players, man. I really think it depends on your roster. It depends on where you're at. Like with this team right here, it's a couple red shirt candidates. Like obviously in the quarterback room, we don't have anyone. Everyone already red shirted. But when you go to the halfback room, now you have something interesting here. You have Charlie, who's already a red shirt junior. He is only a 65 overall, but you have some other guys like Brandon Hood and then also Michael Welch. Brandon Hood is very intriguing with that 96 speed, which is rare for a running back, man. You don't see a running back with that high of speed. And by his senior year, he could have, legit have 99 speed out there. So this is a guy I definitely consider redshirt, man. His development trait is impact, and then he's a 3-star prospect. And like I said, he's a freshman. So if you redshirt this guy, you're going to see that biggest jump from freshman year to sophomore year, or if you redshirt him from that freshman year to that redshirt freshman year, you're essentially going to see that biggest jump. So this is definitely a guy I would consider throwing on the red shirt, especially if I'm not going to start him, man. In this situation, I would start Hayes. Hayes is 10 overalls higher. I don't just look at speed. Me personally, I look at some of the other attributes. Carrying, 78 carrying. Trucking 57. He obviously a speed guy, but even his juke move is very low, to be a speed guy. So this is a guy I definitely redshirt 100%. And, by Dalton Hayes' senior year, then I'll have Brandon Hood as a starter. So this is a prime time, the redshirt guy like that. Then let's look at the wide receiver room. I feel like every wide receiver eligible damn near should be redshirted in this situation. So your top 5 guys are all people that you would not redshirt, These bottom two, Will Shepard, and then also Russell, Baby T.O.s, what people call them, they can't redshirt. They already had their redshirt. Then your top 3 guys are all, high overall seniors. And, maybe you consider redshirting, Wester or, even Jimmy Horn so you get an extra year out of them. You could consider doing that for sure, because you already have – there's no point to have 4 great receivers. You're not going to play 4 receivers most of the time. So I would personally consider redshirting one of these 2 guys. who knows? Maybe they try to transfer out. His deal breaker pro potential. This guy deal breaker coach prestige. None of them is playing time, so maybe you're good there. You could consider doing that. But outside of that, you have some guys down here like Cam McHale. He got the 96 speed. Then you look at his development trait star, 4-star prospect with the star development trait. This is a guy, in this situation, I would redshirt every single time. If I did not have all these star receivers, I would play Cam. I would play a 72 overall star development guy if I have the spot for him. Just because, he's someone that will turn into a very good player, most likely. I want to always add most likely because it's kind of random in this game. Like I said, it's random. He may turn out to be 81 overall, and he may cap out at that. You just never know in this game. It all depends on, first of all, it's random. Then it also depends on your coach like skill tree, and if you went down motivator, and then you went down, the pretty much the option where you're able to develop the players even more during the offseason. That also plays a role into it as well. And then also looking at their rating caps. This is important, man. Look at their rating caps. So for sure he would never be a high power guy. It's just not in his traits. It's not in his skill. And speed is already damn near maxed out. It's at 95. It's only one tick left that could go. So maybe his speed goes up to 98 at the highest, somewhere around there. Maybe it goes up to 99. We don't really know. But one thing about this game, you cannot control how they develop. It's different from Madden. Madden, you could control how every single player develop. And I see why EA didn't do that, or I see why college football didn't do that, because you have way too many different players on your team, man. 85 players to manage their development all throughout the season would be absolutely insane. Even with Madden, at times it feels overwhelming. You might have 15 players you got to upgrade at once in Madden. So I see why they didn't do it in this game, but I wish you could at least have the option sometimes to even focus on one category, because for example, I had a free safety prospect. He was elite free safety. I started him as a true freshman. He came in as a 78 overall, and he maxed out senior year as an 83. And the reason that happened is as they upgraded him manually, like I said, we don't have any control on what they upgrade. They only upgraded his quickness. Like I said, he was a safety. Quickness is not the most important thing. Being super fast, being super, fast is just not that important at safety. More so corner is, but not at safety, man. You want some more of them other skills like, can you defend? What's your zone, man defense? And all of those attributes are super low for this safety prospect. And he ended up capping out at 83 overall with 99 speed. And his zone defense was literally a 70. And it's what can I do with that, man? I can't really play him at safety how I want to with a 70 zone, and his man defense is also a 70. It's what can I really do with that? So I do wish you was able to kind of control, at least have some influence what category they would invest in. Because like I said, I would have went into pass coverage, but instead the game decided to go into quickness. And I had the fastest free safety in the game that couldn't guard anything. He was just fast flying around. So, that happens at times, and that's why that guy ended up maxing out as an 83 overall. When, like I said, he was the elite prospect coming out of high school. He had the elite depth trait, and that's how it happens in real life. So I do appreciate EA adding that to this game, but because it is realistic, man. You do have some of these 5-stars, some of these elite prospects that just does not end up panning out. So let's continue to look at this roster. So we also got a guy like Jordan Seaton. 5-star out of high school, elite development. We believe this guy will turn out to be, a 90+ overall prospect. He's starting off, first of all, as an 89, or actually as a 79 if you look in the top right. He's starting off as a 79, 81 after the boost, and he's going to start on this team, obviously. So he will, 9 times out of 10 turn out to be a great player. 9 times out of 10, it won't always happen. But let's continue to look at the roster, man. Then you have some other guys. One thing I also noticed, when you move people positions, it also have an impact on how they progress. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't work like that. But for example, I moved Victor over to guard in one of these in that rebuild video, and he just never progressed. He literally stopped progressing. I think he stopped at a 74 overall, and he never got better after his freshman year. We had all these, right tackles. So I'm like, okay, let's move him over to guard. We had our guard graduate, and he just never got better. So that also seemed to happen when you switch positions during the offseason. The progression kind of messes up a little bit. And then same thing, I had a quarterback that was an athlete coming out of high school, and I'm like, okay, I want to move him back over to running back because we have another quarterback coming in, and I don't want him to be at quarterback. I could better use him at running back. And he just never progressed. He started off as an 81 overall running back, and he ended his senior year as an 81 running back. And, he started there as a sophomore. So it seemed to sometimes glitch out when you move people over from position to position. So just be aware of that, man. Just be aware of that. But when you do it as a freshman, it seems to work fine. Like, if you have a freshman athlete and you move them over, they seem to progress fine. But later, it just seems to glitch out a little bit. So let's advance, man. Let's see what happens when we advance a year and see what happens with Nate Robinson's son, I think kind of the reason that he progressed to be that 89 overall as a 2-star normal dev that already redshirted. He's a redshirt freshman, 64 overall. Well, first of all, Travis Hunter graduated, so that was one of our cornerbacks out. Then Preston Hodge also graduated, and then DJ McKinley also graduated, and then this guy Yates also graduated. So our top 2 guys was Colton Hood, this guy Burton, and then also Nate Robinson's son. So Nate Robinson's son had to play the slot. So he was actually playing valuable minutes as a sophomore in this series and just really progressed. So if you do play the normal dev guys, they can actually progress to turn into something solid. They can progress to turn into a guy that's get drafted. And like I said, it's kind of random. If they play well, that also plays a factor into it. But yeah, that's kind of some of the things I noticed as well. So we're just going to go ahead and advance to the end of the season. We have all the recruiting on, so, they'll do a bad job. But it don't really matter how we do this season or any of these seasons that we're advancing to. We're just here to see how do players progress and what do different dev trees do. And like I said, I want to see if we're able to get Nate Robinson's son to that 89 overall or really to any, 80 overall at all. As he's starting off as a 64 overall. Redshirt freshman. So I just want to show y'all that different players could progress, even if players that you wouldn't expect. So I advanced to the end of the season. We went 5-7. Let me turn Coach firing off. We're not looking too good. So we sent him all the way to the last week of player progression, and it's interesting, man. Like it's unpredictable. So Ryan Stubb, he's a 3-star impact sophomore. You would expect him to jump up at least a little bit, and he did not move at all. Like he just did not jump up. You have Teller jumping up over him to be the starting quarterback now. But look, Brandon Hood, our red shirt, jumps up 10 overalls to an 82 overall. He was a 72 overall to start the season. He jumps up 10 overalls, and it looks like they did not upgrade speed at all. Let's see what it's like. Yeah, his quickness stayed the same. They upgraded some of his other things. His juke move is now at 80, so perfect. His speed is already 96. We don't really need that any higher. Like 96 speed for a running back is cool, but I just want some of these other things. I want him to be more well-rounded. So I'm glad to see they actually upgrade some of these other things. And like I said, that freshman to sophomore year or that freshman to redshirt year will always be that biggest jump. Same thing with Michael Welsh. Another big jump for him. He was I believe he was a 71, 72, somewhere around there. We go back in the video and look. But another impact guy that also jumped up a lot. And they upgraded his speed for this guy. They upgraded his quickness. So now he's at 95 speed. So that freshman year is always going to be the biggest jump. And, this guy, Brandon Hood could max out at, looking at his rating caps, he could max out like at 90. If we use him right, if we start him this year, he has a good season. He could max out like a 90, 91, somewhere around there. But he also could max out at 80, 85, especially if we don't start him this year. And then next year, we decide to start Michael Welsh. He just may never get to that full potential. But let's continue to look, man. Our wide receiver, Cam McHale, does make a solid jump up, but they upgraded his speed. So now he's at a 99 speed. He was at 96 before this season. So they went into more speed. I would have liked to see him go into, route running, catching, But 99 speed is always elite, always good to see. But I want my recruits to be more well-rounded, man. I want my players to be a little bit more well-rounded. But and then also Cordell Russell, they upgraded him a lot. He jumps all the way up to an 81, and now he's our top guy. Amarion Miller, probably should have redshirted him just because he was a sophomore last year, and he probably didn't play too much at all. Just because we had the 4 very good receivers, so he probably didn't play much at all. So we could have redshirted him. But look at this, Draylon Miller. Somehow he did play. Somehow he didn't redshirt. He was a freshman last year. And this is a guy with star development, and he just did not develop. This is a prime example of players just sometimes not developing. And, yeah, maybe it's because we didn't redshirt him. Maybe it's because he didn't play enough. Whatever the reason is, he did not develop, man. He was around this 70 overall, and he went up to a 72. So not great to see from a star development guy enter his second year. If I had to predict, this is a guy that would never – in this franchise right here, he would never turn out to be, that star player like he should, but in another franchise, he may. So it's kind of very random. Let's continue to look, man. Tight end shouldn't be nothing there. Jordan Seaton, the 5-star freshman that was at 79 to start last season. He jumps all the way up to an 86 before the boost. And like I said, this is an elite guy that started the whole year. We kind of expect him to be a mid-90s player before he ends up graduating. Now let's see what else we see. Anything else stands out? Then, okay, our guy Hank, he does jump up to an 82 overall. What is his overall before the 81 before the boost? That's solid. That's solid for him to be a 2-star normal development guy. Oh, hold up. Yep, yeah. For him to be a 2-star normal development guy, that's very solid, man. Very solid for him to be an 82 overall as a junior. I'm not sure what he'll max out at. Let's look at his ratings. He kind of already maxed out on some of these attributes. Like footwork can't get much better. He already got 99 stamina, but footwork can't get much better. He'll never be a good run blocker. He'll just never be a good run blocker. That is what it is. I like how they added, attribute caps. I do appreciate that because it is realistic. But for his run blocking to only max out at this low is not great. But it is what it is. That's how they did the game. We can't be mad at it. Khalil Benson did not move at all. He was an 80 overall last season. He jumps up to an 81, and he started our whole season at right tackle. He was our starting right tackle the whole season. And if you look at his ratings not maxed out at all. They're not maxed out. But from my experience, from your junior to senior year, you just do not jump much. Like, you just do not jump many overalls. You may go up 1 or 2, but it's really early in the player's career they really jump up overall. So this is a prime example of that, man. Khalil Benson going up 1 overall the entire season is crazy. You may even consider starting Zach Owens, who is a star guy, 80 overall, and, he got solid development, and, he can actually maybe go up to, a mid-80s, maybe high 80s player, even if you started them last season. So just something to consider. Definitely something to consider. I'll see if we see anything else with this. So look at this. Like I predicted, Nate Robinson's son, he jumps 14 overalls? He was a 64 overall. He's now a 78. So I don't know what it is, but certain players just are meant to go up. Like, literally certain players are just meant to do well. His attribute caps he's capped out at a lot of these things, man. He could never be a great zone player. He could never be a great man player, according to this game, because the attributes are just capped. His speed can never go up. He'll be at 88 speed his whole career in EA at least, in EA college football, unless we have, one of the coaches' trees that could unlock some of these attributes. But we don't in this rebuild at least. But he jumped up to a 78, man. Great to see. I'm going to start him this season. He is, one of our top 3 corners, so he'll start regardless. But I'm going to make sure he start get playing time. But let's look at Colton Hood, man. This is a guy that was a 79 overall this past season in the same exact situation as Nate Robinson's son, man. He was a redshirt freshman, and he actually played. He actually played a lot because he was one of our top corners. And he's an impact guy, higher development than Nate Robinson's son, but he barely goes up. He goes up 2 overalls. So, prime example right here. And then also, DJ. McKinley. He was a good guy for us last year, man. A starter. What's his development? 2 overalls. So, prime example right here. And then also DJ. McKinley. He was a good guy for us last year, man. A starter. What's his development? 2 overalls. So, prime example right here. And then also DJ. McKinley. He was a good guy for us last year, man. A starter. impact development ratings are not capped out, but only went up 2 overalls. So just not great to see. And then even Savion Rock, like he did not go up at all. He was a 79 overall, but what it is, he's entering his senior year. And entering your senior year, you just do not go up many overalls. So let's advance another year. Let's see what we see. Let's see how Nate Robinson's son continue to progress, and let's just see what we see. So we simped another season. We went 7-6 this year. We had a bunch of players transfer out, and we even brought in a transfer quarterback. I guess the AI doing their thing, man. They brought in this transfer quarterback, and we had a 7-6 season. But we're at player progression again, and let's look at our guy Stubb Ryan, who literally has not moved the overall since his redshirt freshman year, man. We're 2 off seasons in, and he's still in the low 70s, man. He may have moved 1-2 overalls the whole entire series, and he's an impact 3-star guy, man. And my point in showing you this is like it's just so random at times, man. So random at times how the progression works. Now, look, our guy Brandon Hood did not move many overalls going to his ended his redshirt sophomore year. That's mostly because he probably wasn't a starter, man. This guy right here was a starter, and enter his senior year, he's going to be an 87 overall. So he has a chance to get drafted, be a solid player. And then, now Brandon Hood's senior year, we'll see how he do, man. We'll see if he able to turn to, an 87, a high 80 overall player, man. And from what I've seen, the bare minimum to get drafted is 87 overall. So that's kind of what I look at when I'm looking at players, man. I want them to at least hit that 87 so they have a chance of getting drafted. Now, looking at Omarion Miller, man, he jumps all the way up to an 85 overall. But it's his senior year, man. And he's an impact guy, 3-star. He's a solid player for us now. But Cam, let's see where Cam at, man. Cam does not move barely, man. I believe he was a 78 overall last season, and he's still a 78 overall, man. They just did not move his overall. He did not progress well. And let's see where Miller, Draylon Miller is now a 77 junior, and this is the guy that I said probably should have redshirted his first year, but he didn't. He's a star guy, and they would pit all his attributes into speed. So now he's a 98 speed guy. To start this series, he was around 81, 82 speed, 91, 92 speed. Now he's all the way up to 90, 99 speed, 99 change direction, or 98 change direction, 99 agility, and his route running is still not very good. So he's progressing, but the game is not progressing him in the right categories to make him a great wide receiver. So that's why his overall is still only 77, because they're just putting all his attributes in acceleration, speed, everything like that, when route running actually is what moves your overall a lot more when it comes to wide receivers. So that's why it seemed like he's not progressing. In reality, they're just putting it in the wrong categories. And that just seemed to be what happens at times. So just definitely pay attention to that. Cam is not progressing great to be a star player. Neither is Miller. And then our guy Russell, Baby T.O., is doing okay. He's also a star guy. And his attributes are not capped out at all. And they're actually progressing him a little bit better, where his overall is actually going up. His catching is very good, so that's good to see. Now let's look at our left tackle, Jordan Seaton, who overall barely moved. His overall barely moved this offseason. I'm not sure why. In the last series, by his junior year, which is right now his junior year, he was 91 overall, and he went on to get drafted. Right now, I don't think he'll enter the draft. I think he'll come back for a senior year. He's only at 87 right now, true overall. So I think we actually have a chance to get this guy to come play for us his senior year before going to the NFL. First of all, the AI is not doing a very good job of recruiting the O-line. We have one left tackle, one left guard. All the recruiting is not great. Not great at all. Let's see what else. Hank is all the way up to an 84 overall. I think he was an 82. He was an 81 last year, so he went up to 82, 84 now. But that's still a solid jump for a 2-star normal development guy. We'll take that every day, man. 2-star normal development, we will take that every single day. Right guard, we're looking very bad at. But look at Owens. Zach Owens. Last year we had Khalil Benson starting. But now this is Zach Owens' first year really starting. And he's going to start at an 84 overall, man. Star guy. He has He's a redshirt junior, and he has one more year to progress and potentially hit that 87 overall where he can now get drafted somewhere in that region. And Victor is also progressing. Like I said, in the other series when I moved him to right, or excuse me, it was right guard, he just stopped progressing. But now he's up to a 77, and he's a impact 3-star, so that's good to see at least. Now let's see if we see anything else, man. Anything else sticking out? Let's go look at Nate Robinson's son, man. See how Nate Robinson's son. Okay, wait, hold it. This guy is progressing very well. Also, man, 3-star impact guy. I don't remember what his overall started at, but he started as a freshman, and I believe it was like a 70, 69. He's all the way up to an 85, man. Random. That's the theme, man. Random. It's random how they upgrade players at times. But super interesting to see. Now let's go over the cornerback. And now, so DJ McKinley, that was our top cornerback. He transferred out. So now Nate Robinson's son is an 85 overall. Last season he was a 78. He's now an 85 overall junior, and he's our top cornerback now. He's our top cornerback. Colton Hood is just not developing as fast as Nate Robinson for whatever reason. Like, I have no reason why. There's no reason, logical reason why, other than that, Nate Robinson's son just wanted more, man. That's the only reason. I know I keep calling Nate Robinson's son. We'll call him Namir. Namir just wanted more, man. My fault for not saying your name, Namir. But he just wanted more. Simple as that. Normal 2-star, 5'9" with 89 speed, man. And his attributes caps out pretty low. But his coverage is just going up, man. 91 man. His zone coverage is not going up at all. They're not investing in zone. They're only investing in man. Another thing I don't love to see. But make him well rounded. But they want to prioritize the one category. It is what it is. But he is out progressing every other corner we have, and really every other player we have on the team, man. I would imagine he will progress again next offseason and be around 89 probably. That's what he was last series. So I imagine he'll be around 89, maybe 88, and he will be a player that can get drafted. And let's see if we see anything else. Nothing else really going on. Let's advance another year and see the final year how everything goes. Look at this. We sent another year. So Hank went all the way up to an 87 through progression throughout the season, and he gets drafted in the 5th round. Man, that's a 2-star. Normal development guy, man, that gets drafted at the 87 overall. Great to see. Then also our running back goes all the way up to a 91 overall. He gets drafted in the 2nd round, and he also was a 3-star impact guy. So yeah, let's continue to advance on progression. So we end the season going 9-4. We were ranked, which is cool to see. Let's check out training results, see what player progression is doing for us. Our starting quarterback did not go up much. Ryan is still at that 73 overall for his entire career. And he's an impact 3-star. You would expect a little bit more out of him, but he just won't progress. He's not playing, but still, you would expect a little bit more progression over a 5-year football career. But that's just how it goes in EA sometimes. And look here, man. So Brandon Hood goes all the way up to a 91. He's a junior, 91 overall junior. Progression is doing him very well. He's an impact 3-star guy, just like our backup quarterback, man. But Brandon Hood is not starting. He did not start this past season, as we had the guy that just went in the 2nd round. He was a backup pretty much his whole career until now. Now he'll take over. He progressed very, very good, man. Look at his juke move all the way up to 86. His changed directions at 99, now agility 99. Just progressed well. His carrying all the way up to 88 as well. It was like a 78 before. His juke move also was in the low 70s. But Michael West just did not progress the same as Brandon Hood. And they both was freshmen at the same time. They both are impact 3-star guys. But his attributes caps are just higher, man. Or are just lower. He can't be as good of a player as Brandon Hood just because attributes don't allow him to be. But he do have higher carrying. It is some attributes that you like to see here. But Brandon Hood is just going to be that guy in this version. In the last version I did a few days ago, Brandon Hood did not progress as well. It just did not happen. Let's look. Let's continue to see what we see, man. Cordell Russell did not go up one single overall this offseason or the whole season. he was an 84 overall last season. He's an 84 overall this season. Sean Logan has now is our top wide receiver, man. A 2-star impact guy. 2-star impact guy takes over as, our number 1 wide receiver. And his attributes are damn near capped out. But his catching is very high, 99 catching traffic with the 93 speed. So point is very random, very random. If y'all made it this far in the video, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Show love, man. Appreciate y'all for watching this far. But let's continue to look, man. This guy right here, Assad, 3-star impact wide receiver, and he's now better than Cam McHale. Cam McHale is our star 4-star receiver that started off with a solid overall, and he just stopped progressing, man. 99 speed, and he's maxed out, man. He's maxed out. His route running did get a little bit better, but it's just still not very good. And what is his catching? His hands are okay. 76 catching traffic. They just want to make him a speed guy. So progression is just not great. And then let's look at Draylon Miller, 79 overall, and you're a senior, star guy. Like 79 overall, senior, star. We got him when he was a freshman, and he just never progressed. He never progressed because they only put attributes in quickness and acceleration, and his route running just never got better. His hands never got better. Like, he's a senior with 78 hands, 76 route running. So point is, if you see the star, impact, normal, always take it with a grain of salt, man. Just always take it with a grain of salt, because players do not progress how they should or how you think they always will, man. They just don't. Jordan Seaton is now up to an 88 overall. He went up 1 overall this offseason, man. He's up to an 88. And he was an 87 last season. Still a star guy. He came back for his senior year. Like I said, my other rebuild, he did not come back for his senior year. He was out at the junior year, and my persuasion chance was very low. I had no chance of bringing him back. So, at least we get that guy back. Peyton Kirtland is actually progressing fairly nicely, man. 3-star impact guy, 87 overall, senior year, red shirt. Progressed very nicely, man. We can't be mad at, an impact 3-star going all the way up to 87 overall and being the starter on the O-line. Hank has graduated, but Cash Cleveland now is taking over as our starting center. And this is a 1-star normal guy, man. 1-star normal guy, 79 overall. We'll take that all day. We'll take that all day. 1-star normal, and he's now 77 overall as a junior. Even if he hit an 80 overall as a senior and he's starting on our O-line, we'll take that on our end. Let's see if we see anything else. Zach Owens is up to an 86 overall. By the end of the season, he should hit that 87, 88 overall where he'll end up getting drafted. So that's good to see, man. You can't ask for much more than that. He is a star, 4-star, so maybe you could ask for a little bit more. Maybe you do expect him to be, a 90 overall. And, maybe in some franchises he will, but this one wasn't in his playing cards. Victor kind of slowed down his progression. He's now at a 79, but he'll take over next season. Let's see if we see anything else. Brandon Davis Swan, we did not talk about him much, but he was a freshman when we first took over this program. And he was also an impact 3-star guy, and he redshirted for us his freshman year. But he's all the way up to an 86 overall junior, man. By his senior year, he will be a very solid player, man. 90 power moves with the 90 finesse moves, 96 tackling, coming off the edge with the 80 speed. You can't really ask more than that from a 3-star guy, man. And like I said, by his senior year, he will be a very good player. Should be maybe a 90, somewhere around there, somewhere in that area. And then look at this. Then Morgan Pierce, another guy that was here when we took over, 3-star impact guy that turns all the way into a 90. What is his overall? 89 overall, true overall. And then this is the guy that jumped up last season. He did not progress anymore. He's still at that 80. Was it 86? Yep, he still at that. No, he's at 85. He got a 2 overall boost. Still at that 85 overall, and he's a junior now. He's a backup. So progression is very weird. Let's see what Nate Robinson's son is at. Didn't progress this season for some reason. He's at an 85 overall. Colton Hood is now the top guy at 86, and maybe Nate Robinson not Mayor Robinson still have a chance to get drafted if he progressed a little bit during this season and, get to that 87, 88 overall where he could be drafted. But you never know. You'll never know. But Colton Hood does take over at the 86. So interesting to see. But man, that's kind of all I got for y'all, man. I just want to do kind of a deep dive of how this player progression works and kind of how random it is, and kind of give y'all some tips of what to do. So I'll just circle back around and play players that look good, man. Play players that look good, no matter if they're normal, star, whatever. Play players that look good, and if you kind of see the trend, especially at wide receiver, when the CPU is only upgrading, for example, speed, just know that they're never going to hit that overall that they should, man. They just won't. Like I said, Draylon Miller, they only upgraded his speed, acceleration, and his catching and route running never got better. So, just look out for that. And the same thing could happen at cornerback and safety where they only upgrade a guy's speed. We didn't see it in this situation, but I seen it firsthand, man. Like I said, I had the 5-star gym elite prospect, elite development trait, and he maxed out at 83 overall because they only upgraded his speed, and he just never got a player better. And he was a 4-year starter for us, man. That was my LSU rebuild. So yeah, it's very interesting. But if y'all like this style of content, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. If y'all have any suggestions, if y'all want me to drop any other videos clarifying anything else, let me know down in the comments. Check out my Twitter, Instagram. Also check me out on Twitch. But appreciate y'all for watching.